Hello and welcome to our group call for the 8th of December. It's been 2 weeks since our last call. I had something on last week, so just decided to skip that one. Hope you guys have had a fantastic 2 weeks of trading, and judging from the results shared in the public Discord chats, it's looking really fantastic. As well as the game plan, we've had some really powerful game plan results too. So we're going to jump and look at that. And how's the signal chart today looking? It's been looking so damn good. You know, we had our first initial breakout marker left behind over there, going up 96 ticks from that movement, so 80, 90 ticks. We had another red marker left behind over there, price dropping from there. So some really fantastic signals. And I must say, you know, the Sunday evening time frame, you know, for you guys in the US, it is such a incredible time to be catching some scalping trades using the signal charts. You know, for many of you, it might just be 2 or 3 trades that you need to set you up for the week ahead, you know, right, you know, in advance, set you up for the week ahead so that you can already be, you know, profitable before the week really even starts. So, you know, that's the power of these signal charts and the benefit of having a system of tools all working together. So really awesome. I love that. All right, so let's look at our results over the last couple of weeks. So I just scrolled back on the chats a little bit, and I see Bruce has been trading the Medina Wick Trader, which is such a powerful strategy. And, you know, we are going to cover the strategy in more detail on one of these group calls. I know I have covered this before on a previous call, but I never really documented the timestamps in all those videos. So to go back and to find that, you know, is a bit of a challenge. So, you know, what I've also done over the last, you know, 6 weeks or so is gone in and time-stamped every video. So you can basically review the previous videos and you'll be able to see, you know, the key topics that we actually discussed in there. Let's talk about the key topics. So we're obviously gonna cover our performance for the week. Ooh, I clicked the wrong button again. Goodness gracious me. So we're gonna cover our performance, and we're also gonna cover our game plan for the week ahead. And then we're also going to look at our automated strategy, the baseline Wick Trader strategy that we've been working with. And let me just click on this one. Good. Okay, so, you know, trading the Medina Wick Trader strategy, it's a bit hard to see there. You can open it in a browser, but that's just, you know, a list of all the trades. I don't actually see any losing positions there. That's crazy. So thanks for that. And, you know, again, we're trading over here. This was the gold, so well done on that. That's what the chart looks like. Perfect. So you were just trading the baseline Wick Trader strategy without the linked feature. So, you know, the baseline Wick Trader strategy has got those extra buttons on top, but only if you select that feature. So you can run these strategies completely independent of each other by unticking that box in the settings and then, you know, just running it independent like that. Going on, some more Medina Wick Trader strategy there. So, you know, starting and pausing the strategy based on what you're seeing on signal charts, super powerful. There's all the buttons for the strategy. It's a really nice bar size. This would have been an incredible trending baseline, because as you can see, the price didn't really go down more than 150 ticks over this entire period. So that could have been an incredible opportunity too for the trending baseline. There we go. So we had some Ellen, thanks for sharing over there too. Christopher, well done. We had a bit of system issues last week getting your VPS working properly. So that's good. Some really good shares over there. Really awesome. I love the way you call your templates, and thanks for sharing those templates too. You know, the guys are really benefiting from these shared templates. You know, and why not? You know, you're contributing to the community, which is, you know, always such an important thing to do. and, you know, achieving really good results. So good stuff on that. Here we go again, Medina Wick Trader Strategy. So I'm glad you guys are using this, you know, and using the flat baseline. You know, this flat baseline chart, you know, it really gives you, and we covered this on a previous call, you know, a few weeks ago, where we were saying, you know, the price has only got one of two things it can do. It can either go up to a new baseline, or it can return to the baseline. So it provides a lot of opportunity to be able to trade that with a lot more certainty, because you know exactly where price is going to be going. You know, unlike minute bars or volume bars or any other bars, you know, you don't know how long each of those bars are going to be. So it's very hard to position yourself in the market when it's a thumb suck of how high and how low the bar is going to be. So not really professional, not really intuitive trading when you're trading minute bars and you don't actually know how long bars are going to be. So that's what makes, you know, the DTB bars so powerful. Again, some nice sharing over there, so thanks for that. Let's switch over to the game plan results. So what I also did with the game plan is I took a period of time where I documented each and every trading chart for the period, you know, in the game plan. So if you scroll back all down up there as far as you can, you will see that from the 21st of October, I really started documenting each individual chart that made up the game plan. So not just putting a daily summary of all the trades. And there probably are 2 or 3 days missed out over here. And that's only because those days did not have specific charts for that period. So something either happened on those specific days, or, you know, I didn't document the trades exactly right. So, you know, this just demonstrates the power of the game plan that we've been running. So since we introduced the game plan, probably about 12 months ago, you know, we've actually rarely had a losing week. I think over the entire period, over the last 12 months that we've been running the game plan, we've probably had about 3 or 4 maximum weeks where we've actually ended the entire week at a loss. Otherwise, every other week has actually been profitable. And especially since we've been working with the baseline Wick Trader strategy, you know, it's really, you know, it's given us a major edge in the market. So, you know, it's nice to see, you know, a summary like this. So I'm going to try to do this as much as possible. And I've actually been recording each day a lot, you know, clearer, so that when I do a summary like this, you know, it can be easily done. So, you know, that was the results from there. You know, the NQ really performed extremely well from the 21st of October to 27th of November. So those were all the daily results on that. And, oh yes, and I've also released a special pricing for new members. So new members can still sign up on a $59 weekly plan. You know, and how amazing is that? You know, why would you go and spend $1,500, $1,600 on one little magic bullet strategy or indicator suite when you can have an entire system of tools, you know, that are designed to work together, you know, for a much, much better offering. So, you know, you get to try out the entire system for $59. I mean, it's an absolute no-brainer when it comes to, you know, deciding whether to give DTB traders a try or not. And, you know, the powerful thing is that we've got the documented results to prove it. So, you know, beautiful turnkey system, absolute no-brainer. So, you know, I love sharing this week in and week out, and, you know, the power of what we actually able to achieve here. All right, so specifically for last week, we had the game plan running. So again, I've documented every single day. So there's the 2nd of December, 3 a.m. to 8 a.m. template. So each chart, you know, I've tried to be as clear as possible on each of these. So you'll see, you know, the specific days, you know, and, you know, when we're trading these templates, you know, our strategy analyzer is going to give us is going to give us slightly different results to what we experience in real time. And that is because when we are trading this, a lot of these entries, you'll see they open and close on the same bar. So often what that does is it impacts the next signal. So in cases where you have entries and exits on the strategy analyzer running on the same bar, like this one would have, there could have been additional signals presented over there, because this trade over here historically would actually show a profit target on this bar. So, we understand that and we've accepted that. It doesn't change significantly our overall results. We're still able to gain really great consistency out of it, but you'll notice that when you rerun the historical data, you'll see that, like, for example, this trade will show profitable on this bar, whereas it actually in real time, the price didn't return there. Sometimes it does, but in real time, we're not able to see, or we are able to see where the prices actually exit compared to where the strategy analyzer shows us the entries. So a perfect example would have been here. These would have shown profit target, and then the next signal could have presented over there. So we are expecting to see a difference between what we're seeing in the analyzer compared to real-time results. And the only way to completely change that is to make 100% sure that entries are outside of the bar that they form on, and also their targets are outside of the bar that they actually enter on. So that is a way of doing that, but then you're having much larger targets, you're having much larger entry spaces. So, it doesn't really benefit your performance, your actual real-time performance, because, you have a lot further for the price to travel. But then you will get your accurate historical results based on the analyzer. So that's not something we're trying to hide. That's just, we found this to be extremely successful. And we initially started on the 50-30 bar, which some of you guys are still using, where a lot of the entries are on the same bar. But it's, it works in our favor most of the time. Okay, so that's more information on that. And as you can see from our real-time performance, we just have, we had an amazing day here. Thanks, Alan, for posting that. Having your best day ever. You've just recently started using the system to its fullest, with your own funds. So that's, a really awesome thing to be able to do, is actually seeing the progress and growing your account. So awesome stuff. Okay, next day, 3rd of December. 3rd of December carries on. And 4th, so again, we only trade Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday on these. And I'm providing the daily results for all templates every single trading day. And then what I've also done is I've provided a summary at the end of the trading week. Okay, there we go. So 5th of December, the templates made 1,480. And ended up on 883 profit for the game plan. So anybody running the game plan and letting it run as it was set out to be run, that is what was expected from that this week. And, we all get the same results because we're all trading the same strategies. So it's not hypothetical results, it's actual results from, my actual screenshots of trading the game plan that you guys have provided. So really cool. So thanks for the continued contribution to the chats over here. It's really awesome to see you guys' involvement in that. Okay, now the next thing I wanted to jump into was the game plan for the week ahead. Okay, so I'll bring up the game plan document. So again, it's been updated. You'll see it's updated for the week ahead. You need to be on the December 6th assembly, which was released Thursday, Friday last week, just with some little updates to the time frames or the time zones on the strategies. And, there are the templates provided. So again, we've still provided the screenshots of the chart, as well as historical results on that. And we've done that for all of the 4 templates on there. So you'll see there's the NQ, NQ over there, and ES. So what we've also done this week is I've actually used the NinjaTrader bars. So we haven't really used the NinjaTrader bars much, because it's not really a tradable bar under normal circumstances. But the benefit of the baseline Wick Trader strategy is that it uses limit orders. So it is not impacted by false openings. So obviously NinjaTrader bars have got fake openings. That's what it does. So whatever size bar you have, halfway up the bar, that's where the price is going to show on the chart. But it's not the actual entry point. The actual price is not the open of the bar. So there's very, very, very few strategies that you can run with the NinjaTrader bars, and I actually don't know any other strategy that I can run with them. But because this strategy uses limit orders, and we'll look at a chart of this actually. So I'll bring up the control center and switch over to the workspace. Okay, game plan week ahead. Okay, so we'll switch over, we'll look at this one over here, and you'll see that the entries on this, so this is the NinjaTrader bars, you'll see that all of these bars that are showing over here, their opening is halfway down the bar. But you'll see that there's the actual entry of the price. So the strategy is only going to enter positions if the price actually touches that entry location. So it's not based on the open of the bar. It's based on a signal that is presented when the bar forms, and then it has a limit order away from where the bar open is, and it's not impacted at all by the fake open, because wherever the price enters on the chart is exactly where the price has definitely been, not at any fake opening point. So we'll see how this runs this week. We've got, this is not going to be, I don't think this is going to be a very active trading chart this week. So we should see a few trades from it, but we'll see how that goes. I'm just trying to scroll back a bit. So you can see how the entries are, appearing over there, stops and their targets being hit. So, like I said, we'll see how this goes this week. The ES has not been performing too well on the game plan, over the last few weeks. And I thought maybe it's just, we just need to mix it up a little bit with the, with the bar size and the bar type. So that's why I thought I would bring that up. And also just reviewing the historical performance of the ES, coming back to this slide over here, for the ES has, it's done well, and then it's had a few losses. So, it hasn't really performed extremely well. So it was due to just mix it up a little bit on that ES, because, the other templates are performing pretty well. We just need to try and get the ES to give us some, consistency on there. So this might be it, I might change my mind about the NinjaTrader bars if this proves to be successful. Well, not really change my mind. I still don't think it's a useful bar to really trade with, especially manually. But with this strategy, because of its design, we definitely going to have an opportunity to put it to the test. All right, so that is the game plan, and there's a few, so they're all set up over there. I just got to check what I did over there. Oh, I did add a strategy there to try something out, so I'm just going to remove that. All right, so you'll see last week too that I presented a document in the baseline Wick Trader chat. So this is this document, and you'll see, we're specifically covering the baseline Wick Trader. You'll see some of my new branding that's coming out. It's still got to be updated on the website. I've actually got somebody doing all of that. It'll be ready in January, so that's going to look a lot better once that is all done. So this is going to be the new format of the training documents. So a really good document to read through because, with the introduction of the linked feature in the automated strategy, we have such a huge trading edge above anybody else in the whole trading space. Any other system out there or any other, automated strategy, we actually have features in here that put it, in a whole different galaxy, really. So, there's always new magic bullets being released every week, and it's funny watching them. They're still hiding their commissions and they're still hiding their slippage, and so yeah, it's amazing. Anyway, the suckers are born, and they will jump to them. Okay, so with this linked feature, some of the benefits were that you can run multiple strategies with independent A and B settings on the same trading account. So, that basically means that, when you're running multiple strategies, like you can set up, like we covered on the previous call, where you can have multiple strategies, in your strategy tab in NinjaTrader. So, that specific tab that you have where you can create your strategies, whether you have them on the chart or in the strategy tab, you can have, each of them can have their own independent A and B settings, and you can trade them on the same account. So you can have 5, 6, 7 strategies trading on one trading account, but in doing so, you got to make sure that you select your direction bias. So the strategy is only going to enter additional positions if the market is flat. So it's only going to enter positions if the market is flat, or if your positions are flat. So that is why you can choose your long only. So all those strategies trading in the background will only take long positions, and they will be in that favor. So you're not going to have conflicting positions because you're actually choosing a direction bias. Where you will come into issues is if you're selecting long and short and having multiple strategies trading on the same account. So be mindful of that. And you have the ability to start and pause each individual strategy that's running on a chart. So you've got a long only and short only, which we just covered, but you've also got to pause all links. So all strategies running on that account, or on those accounts, or any accounts that you're trading on, they will stop taking new positions. So that's the benefit of that, and then also resuming them all. So even if you've got multiple different trading accounts that you are using, and you've got all these different strategies running in the background, you can basically choose what their direction is, first of all, whether you want them to stop trading for a short period of time, whether you want them all to resume. There might be some huge news coming out that you haven't accounted for in your blackout period, because the strategy has a blackout period where you can explicitly determine times of the day where you do not want to enter trades. So if you haven't accounted for that, you might decide, there's big news coming out in 5 minutes. I'm just going to pause all my strategies for now. And a really amazing thing about that is, it's all done through one button, one button to pause all those strategies, whichever strategies you're running. And, they actually, will do that. Okay, so I like that feature. I think it's pretty awesome. And another cool thing about this is that, each strategy that you are running, so, if you have gone and optimized all different bar sizes, target and stop ticks for all those different strategies, you still have that overall direction bias that you can select. So, you can have multiple different strategies running, different bar sizes, different stop ticks, different target ticks, daily profits, daily stops, and they will all be respected, but you'll also have that overall direction bias. So even if you got crap settings in your strategy, like settings that are not actually doing fantastically well, if you've chosen the direction correctly, like you're only taking long positions or short positions, in a trending market, then, your chance of succeeding with those strategies, is far greater than taking both directions, especially if, the price is trending up and the strategy is taking short positions, right? So it will avoid all those short positions and only take long positions, when you select that direction bias. Okay, what else was there? Okay, so there were a few extra updates that I'm still working on. So one of those updates is, say you got 10 strategies running and they each can enter 2 or 3 positions. We obviously don't, if we're trading on one account, we don't want to have 20, 30 positions open on one trading account, right? So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be having a criteria there of being able to select how many positions in total that are being submitted, how many signals are being submitted and entries being submitted across all instances of the strategies that you're running. So you could set that to, say, 8. And, even if each individual strategy has different position sizes, when those position sizes have all accounted and it's hit a total of 8, then there won't be any more positions entered. So no matter how many strategies you have running. So this is a bit of a tricky one that I'm actually doing because it involves the communication between, multiple strategies and the cancellation of orders and a whole lot of things. So there's a lot, in the background. And I'm also working on setting a global take profit for those linked strategies. So specifically having, say you've got 5 strategies running on your one trading account, they're all optimized with different values. You say, I want all strategies to stop trading when, the profit target hits $500 or $5,000 or whatever it is. So same thing there, stop loss and profit target. So these are the 2 main things that I'm working on at the moment with regards to the strategy. And again, it's just an extra feature within the strategy. So, again, it comes down to having a system where you work with the same automated strategies over and over and over again. You make them better and better and better, and not release a new magic bullet every week, like every other company does. So, working with and improving something that is already amazing, but keeping ahead of the curve, is far better than jumping to, the next, shiny thing that comes out. So you guys have seen a lot of updates, for the strategy over the years, really, especially over the last year. We've seen a lot of key updates to the baseline Wick Trader strategy. And that's contributed to where we are now, where we can actually have consistency. It's very hard to get consistency if you keep trying new things every week, right? And there's no shortage of that. Okay, so that is that part. So going into the strategy. So, just to go through with what we just covered, one of the things that we can actually look at now is the strategy analyzer for the baseline Wick Trader. Now, this is, this might take a bit longer for some guys to actually work with, but, it's something that I think is extremely beneficial to be able to do. So if you're loading up the baseline Wick Trader in the optimization in the strategy analyzer, it's a good idea to work with, one of the existing templates. So there's quite a few templates being provided, by DTB traders as well as different members of the group, of the community. So it's a good idea to, start with something like that. So start with a template that's already provided, because what that does is it's going to give you, you always have to come in and select the instrument. That's like the first thing you have to do. But it just gives you a template that's already been fairly well optimized with the settings. And then, you can then come in and adjust target ticks and stop ticks and tick distances. And the really cool thing about this now is that, if you want to have 3 different strategies running on the same trading account, you can come in here and you can even adjust the trade size. So you might decide, what, I don't want to run 3 and 2 size on this. I would rather have 4 strategies that are optimized and have them each have a smaller trade size, so that, the combination of all of them together, are presenting the best signals, and not just relying on, on one strategy as an example. So by definitely decreasing the trade size, you're able to have more strategies running, because you're not going to be, overwhelmed with multiple orders on that. And then the cool thing too is you're going to go and adjust your stop ticks, your target ticks. So having that, you might want to adjust this, especially if you are going to be running multiple strategies on a trading account. You might say, hey, you know what? I'm going to increase the stop ticks and target ticks a little bit to make them, fall outside of, the bar that we're working on. You might want to adjust that. You got your tick distances. So, all of these can basically be, I'm just going to adjust these. I haven't done this optimization on this, but, this is something that you can do. And, you're probably going to find there's going to be a lot fewer trades happen in a situation like this. But, you've got multiple strategies running on the same account, right? So it's not going to be overwhelming. And then you might say, you know what, I'm happy to have a strategy make $200. So if you've got 5 strategies running, you got your max loss set at $1,000 as an example, if they all crash and burn, which is, extremely unlikely. And then you just put your individual stops and targets in there for your daily profit. And you might just have your trading drawdown put in there too. So that's also helpful, especially if you're working with these funded account companies, specifically choosing a trading drawdown. So you obviously don't want your highest peak value that you accumulating and then having a more of a drawdown than that. This account feature that I've got in here for the global money management for accounts stop and target. So I had somebody report to me that wasn't working 100% regarding the stopping at the account level. So it's been working fine for me, and I literally haven't been working on this for a while, but I'm going to also thoroughly review that during the week ahead to see if we can just use this one instead of creating a new feature that just works with the linked strategies. So there's a few little things I'm going to be doing. And, also the really cool thing is that you don't need to go and optimize way in advance. You can literally use the last 2 to 3 weeks of data to optimize. So, today is obviously the 8th. So, I'm going to go back just a little bit more over there, because, when you've got more strategies running and you've got, you've determined the current heartbeat of the market, you've actually got, a much higher probability of succeeding with that. Okay, so I'm going to run this. I've done all my settings correctly. I'm just going to change the A and B settings. So I'm going to just I'm going to leave the 2 as the A setting. Now, for those who may need a refresher on this, the strategy's got a setting A, setting B, and setting C. And the setting A is the first part of the indicator. So the setting A and B is, the A and B settings of the SI indicator, okay, which obviously, which combine volume, time and sales, buy, sell pressure. There's a lot of technical things built in there, and you don't really need to know all the ins and outs of that. All you need to know is that it does work and that these values are optimizable. You don't need to know how a freaking Formula One engine works inside. You just need to put it in and drive, right? Well, not really Formula One, Ferrari, right? So, most people don't know what the hell's going on around them with most things. Why would you want to consume your brain with all these extra things that are actually irrelevant when, you still got major control over, I pressed the wrong button again, damn it. When you got major control over, the strategies anyway, because you're choosing your direction bias. Okay, so I'm going to go 10 to 58 in increments of 2, and I'm going to go 11 to 57 in increments of 2. So strange thing I've done here you'll notice that, these are going to be odd numbers and these are going to be even numbers. So what we're basically doing here is we are combining the result of two indicators to give us filtered results, for the settings. So I'll just run this and see what this produces. It says 600, which is quite a bit. And, you can narrow down your values over here. So starting at 10 to 58, 11, 57, you've got, you're basically covering all the bases of the A and B or the B settings because you're using even and odd numbers. So, if you ran the same values like 10 to 58 in 2 and 10 to 58 in 2, you're going to have instances where the same B setting will be the same as the C setting. That's because the two indicators are actually, producing the same result because you're using the same values. So this is just giving it a little bit of a, more of a filter to try and, move out or try and get those trades, those signals to be, more efficient. So optimizations do not take too long. They run pretty decently. I think it's under 2 minutes generally for an optimization of this size. So, you do this, you might even find 2 or 3 settings out of this optimization that you could use in individual strategies. So that's, that's pretty powerful because, often you'll be running the strategy analyzer and then you'll be achieving results using the one that you specifically selected, but then running the analyzer at the end of the trading week, you'll see, oh my God, the one 3 down the list or 4 down the list actually performed better than the one that was on top of the list. So this gives you the ability to have multiple different settings, throughout your analyzer results to be able to run. So you're definitely giving yourself a higher chance of being successful in that. Any chats, you can pop them in the game plan chat on Discord. If I can find it. There we go. Group calls. Okay, so that was only a brief little thing, right? The screens are working fine now. Ah, crap. Is this just 1 second? I see. I just need to adjust something over here. I think, there we go. So I pressed the freaking lock button on my keyboard instead of something else, and then it just locked my whole screen. So it's coming back. Okay, so you should be seeing all of that now. Okay, perfect. So, so like this over here. So imagine if you had, multiple strategies that have got the 80, 90, high 80, 90% probabilities, and you select a few different ones of these to be running. So, you're definitely going to have an opportunity to have, a lot more success running this. And this is only on one bar size. So you might decide, I'm going to take 2 settings from here, and it might be, I'm going to take, 2 settings from here. I'm going to choose, so this one over here is very close. So you can see the settings. It says 222 35. And the second best settings that produces is 220 33. So you can see how those 2 values are very close. So, those will be a good combination to use also. And you'll see there's a 224. So you'll see that this range of values is pretty good. But then you might say, you know what, I'm going to look at something a little bit different like this here, like a 218 35. You say, okay, I'm going to run this one and I'm going to run this one over here, still giving high percent accuracies. And then you can run those on, on your specific trading accounts. And then, all you've done now is you've optimized, the 1 bar size. So you might run an optimization using a different bar size and then saving those templates and then activating them on a chart. So I'm just going to just save 3 of these as an example over here. So I'm going to go template and I'm going to go save, and I'll just make this a simple thing. Okay. 1 MNQ. Okay. And I'm going to save this one over here too. I'm going to go template, save. I'm going to go to MNQ. All right. And then I'm going to go to another one over here. Save this one over here. And I'm going to go template and save. And I'm going to go 3 MNQ. So what we've basically done here is we've got 3 different values of settings on the same thing. And I'm just going to go to a new workspace. I'm just going to go to a new workspace over here so we can show this on here. So then what we'll do is we'll go to a new chart and we'll select the MNQ, and we'll go to the DTB bars, which was a 4020. And if I remember correctly, it was a custom range of, let me just see. I know it was about 3 weeks, right, that we used. 17th, I think it was. Okay, so 17th. So there we've got our 1 chart. So, we need to have 1 chart open to be able to, have this feature work at its best. So we'll do that, and we'll go to the strategies tab. So first of all, I'm going to go to the strategies over here, and I'm going to load the baseline Wick Trader. And we'll go template, load, and we'll look at the one that we just created. Okay, and then we'll choose that on one of the accounts. So yeah, we'll just use sim1 on all of these. Actually, I won't use sim, I'll just use sim5. I've still got to go and move all my strategies to the live accounts, but I'll just use sim5 for here. Okay, so that's the first one running. Okay, so there's our settings. Now in the strategy tabs, you can go over here, you can go new strategy, and this is where you load up your baseline Wick Trader strategy. Okay, which is over here. So you load up your baseline Wick Trader strategy, you go to template, and you go load, and you load your second one like this. And I always like to increase these windows. I mean, always have these windows open so that you can see clearer what's happening. Okay, and then you got to just scroll down to the bottom of here, and it always says, so again, you're going to choose your account that is trading on. And again, this could be multiple accounts or the same account, but we're going to use the same account in this respect. And when it comes to days to load, it's very important over here to always load 14 days. Because we want to be able to see a reset of data and a reset of the signals and the reset of the charts of 2 Sundays. So the previous Sunday, because there's no trading before on the Saturday and there's no trading the previous week on the Saturday, we actually have a proper reset of data. So whenever you're doing optimizations, it's always a very, very good idea to optimize from a Sunday. I don't think anybody else has ever said this, but it makes perfect sense. And it doesn't matter what strategy you're using, even if you're using a non-DTB shiny bullet strategy, loading 14 days minimum on there is absolutely key. Okay, so we got that. I did load the template, right? Yes, it looks like it. What is that line? Oh, okay, no, that's just something else. Perfect. So then you can go now and you can go, okay. So that's the next one. And then you go back into the strategy tab over here and you go new strategy and you just do the same process again. Baseline Wick Trader, template, load, number 3, load, you're going to choose your days, which is 14, and then you're going to choose your trading account. And then you're going to go OK. Okay, so now what you've done is you've added those two accounts. You'll see that they listed over there. So these are the two. So you can tick the box on them like this. Now all three strategies will be running on the same account. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to choose your direction bias. So whether it's long only, short only, these are the two buttons that you're going to control while you are trading. Now, a lot of our strategies are only running from 9:35 till 11. So you got basically an hour and a half of trading where it's like, okay, during this time, you're going to be running these strategies. You can say, I'm going to be following a signal chart. So you go to your templates, you go load, and you go and choose your preferred signal chart. I'll just use show me the money as a perfect example. So open this in a new window, and it'll help if you have another screen, right? So, you could have this, and what I'll also do is I'll just reduce the size of this chart so that it can just be out of the way a little bit. You don't want to compress the signal chart too much because it's not really designed to be compressed. You basically just want it to be as large as possible. And in fact, I'm just going to reduce the size of this thing over here just to show those three accounts. I'm going to move this up like this. You don't really need to see what's happening too much on the chart itself because, you've got your buttons on top, which are your main things that you're going to be looking at, and then you're going to be looking at your signal chart. So over here, you'll be saying, okay, well, so pretend this is now, 9:35 a.m. Okay. Or whatever time you're trading, so whichever time of the day. So even if you're going to optimize from 8 p.m., so, it's 7:47 p.m., you might say, you know what, I'm going to trade from 8 p.m. till midnight. You could do optimizations with these, you can do optimizations based on that specific time of the day. So you can optimize 8 p.m. to midnight. You can set up 3 or 4 strategies. There's not going to be a lot of positions, but if any of those strategies submit an order, then, they're going to be in the market. So, that's what you're going to do now. So you're going to be looking at this and be thinking, okay, well, what is happening with price now? Should I be entering long or should I be entering short? Okay, well, at this stage, you're probably thinking, okay, I'm going to actually pause this. I'm not sure why that popped up, but I'm going to pause that. That is a strange one. Just 1 second. Okay, that wasn't happening earlier. So I just got an issue on my side, obviously. So you're going to be, running the strategies. You're going to be choosing your direction bias. And, having those trades only trade long, only trade short. So I need to restart my NinjaTrader. I know I've got things here, but you wouldn't be having that on your side. So you're specifically choosing your direction bias for the trades that are going to enter. And that is going to, ensure that if any signals are generated, you are going to have them only present or only trade in that direction. All right, and then obviously these buttons control all of the strategies running on that account. Okay, so I think that's a really cool way to be able to work with that. And yeah, I might have to just restart my NinjaTrader. I know I've been doing a lot of back end work on here, so I just might have a slight issue. But I'll do that just now. But yeah, that's basically how we showed it last week. So I haven't changed anything with those settings. They're basically exactly the same as was demonstrated on the playback and stuff last week. So, choosing your direction bias is definitely going to be key to, be able to run these. So, and always just choose, are you going to be trading long only or short only? I mean, that's what you're going to be selecting. So, always have a direction in mind. So even if you have, if the pause and, all that is, it might not be working perfectly, you still got your direction bias that you can work with. And, at the end of your trading session, so you might spend an hour or 2 hours, and if you're only trading those strategies, the cool thing too is you can go and flatten everything also. So when you're done with your trading, after you take on your screenshots of your performance, you can flatten all your positions that are open on that. And then, you got a much higher thing to actually work with. All right. Good. So I think that was all I wanted to cover this week. There's a lot of things going on in the back end, especially with the baseline Wick Trader strategy, getting the, just getting those new updates put in to control the position sizes. I think that position size thing is going to be a really key thing, especially if you got quite a few strategies running. But, for those guys who just want to keep it very simple this week, just working on your game plan, just working on this, letting these run, they set up for success. We obviously don't know what we're going to achieve this week with it, whether we're going to have a very successful week or maybe even a losing week, who knows. We are heading up towards the middle of December. So, we're looking at the 8th now. So, this is probably the last trading week that the banks and institutions are really going to be working in. As soon as it comes to, the following week, 16 to 20 to 25 to 30, the end of the year, the banks and institutions are only really going to get back to work from about the, I would say the 13th of January. That's when they're going to be back in full swing. So all the John Waynes, all the stay-at-home pops, the people that are going to be playing around in the market are the ones that are going to be trading, during this stage, right? Because the banks and institutions are not trading during that time. They all having their major bonuses paid. They are resetting because they obviously need to reset too. They've had obviously a big year, and the market during this time of the year, there's not going to be really many professionals trading the market, and none of us are professionals because we're all retail traders. So, if the banks and institutions are not trading, I'm not interested in actually trading. So during the weeks of, leading up 16 to 20, this could be slightly okay, but there's no way in hell that, from the 23rd up until the 3rd, there's going to be any banks and institutions trading. They will not be there at all. Definitely not. So you're going to have a lot of people promoting videos and saying how they're entering trades and how they're professionals and everything, but they all bullshitting you, because I can guarantee you with a 100% certainty, the big banks and institutions are not going to be trading, these 2 to 3 weeks. Okay, so, that does provide some opportunities, obviously, because, you've got your signal charts where you can still do some scalping, but, it's not a period to be running the automated strategies, because it's going to rely, we're trying to copy and work with the banks and institutions. We're not trying to mimic, people stuffing around on 5-minute bars or 1-minute bars or, whatever they're doing. We're trying to work with price as it is received from, the exchange, and we're working with price as the banks are seeing price. So that's why we're working with the big trending baselines, the flat baselines, and also very specific price movements, like actual measurable movement of price in different ranges. Okay, so I would say this week we may attempt to run the game plan the next week, but I think we'll have to monitor it very, very closely. But a main thing to focus on would definitely be those signal charts. So if I go back to my workspace and I go to this, we're going to see. So there was that breakout marker. You see there's our breakout markers left behind. This is the type of thing that we'll be looking at, during the times, during the times where we're not running the game plan, because, you're going to still get absolutely incredible signals from these charts, and they're going to present, incredible opportunities to enter the market. Good. So that's it from me. Thanks for jumping on the call, guys. And let's have a really kick-ass week with the game plan and also with your own templates. I look forward to seeing what you guys can be sharing too. And we'll go from there. Okay, guys. Thank you and chat soon.